we're going to have our first part is to honor our scholars, and then after that we will have the official inauguration from this community of our own Jessie Fuentes. So,
well, hello everybody. Thank you for inviting us up here, and thank you for also putting us on the spot, Jose, because I was not expecting this. Yes. But thank you for having us for this. I wasn't expecting this ceremony at all, and I just look forward to working with everybody.
This is the other little delinquent.
So first I want to say thank you to PRCC and everybody who's here. And of course, Professor Lopez, who's been very inspirational in helping me find my identity. I mean, my mom's right there in the front. I want to say thank you to her, because I would not have gotten into college without my mom and my family's support. And thank you to everybody here, because this is my community. I grew up right on the street over, and to hear about the plans that are happening for the future is very inspirational, and brings that light that's been missing in this community.
Hola a todos. Did not expect to be up here, Jose, clearly. I just want to thank everybody, especially Jose, especially Zenaida. You guys have supported me this whole time. I wouldn't have even been in NEIU if it wasn't for Jose. So it's been a journey, and I guess I hope to make you guys proud. Yeah.
Make me proud. I love you.
I don't speak English too much. Pero tengo que decirle gracias a Jose por darme a small scholarship, because I really wanted to continue school, and I'm gonna thank him with my artwork.
Hello. My name is Monica Lozada, and I wanted to say thank you very much to Puerto Rican Cultural Center and my continued work with the Puerto Rican Cultural Center. I look forward to that. And to Marvin Garcia.
Yeah, Marvin, yeah!
Without him, I would not be here. I would not be going to college. I would not be seeing the goals that I see for myself now. And I look forward to continued work with you guys.
So I wasn't expecting to speak. That was my first question to Xiomara. But I actually have to thank the Puerto Rican Cultural Center. I have to thank Jose for being flexible with me and encouraging me and pushing me to finish my master's degree. I have a wonderful team and a wonderful team of women who push me and inspire me to be better and to be a better leader. So I thank them. I have a wonderful, wonderful team and a wonderful community who support me. So I'm successful because of them. Thank you.
Hello. I just got here. I wasn't expecting this either, but I do want to thank Jose, because if it wasn't for you, I really wouldn't be here. I wouldn't know many of you who I now consider to be family if it wasn't for him and for him pushing me in, bringing me into the fold. And I want to thank Natasha, who has been like a mentor to me, and I have done so much because of her. And thank you to my team, Humboldt Park Action Team. If you're out there, you all know who you are. And so thank you all for welcoming me and helping me to really blossom here.
So Lizzie was the president of the Union for Puerto Rican Students at UIC, and obviously Isaiah took from her. So this is a new leadership. And for those people who don't believe that we create leaders, this is a great example. Thank you all.
So I am deeply honored to be here. I know Jessie for quite a while, since 2008, when I first started as a teacher at Dr. Pedro Albizu Campos High School. I see a few of my people here, de la escuelita, de la escuela que adoro con tanto mi corazón todavía. And Jessie was, excellence. I don't have anything, and I probably get very emotional because it is. My mom makes sure that I say asegúrate de decirle a Jessie que yo la quiero mucho. Yo no sé si tú has conocido a mi mamá, but she knows you. So desde Fajardo, Puerto Rico, I want to make sure that if she sees this, that I make sure that she knows that you are in her prayers. So thank you. I would love to introduce or reintroduce the Deputy Chief of Staff to Mayor Johnson. Cristina Pastor España.
Oh man, hey beautiful people. This is just so amazing looking out, seeing so many familiar faces, understanding the different ways that we're connected, and that ultimately, whether we came from Puerto Rico or other parts of the world, we're Chicago kids. Yes. And Chicago kids are on the 5th floor. And Chicago kids are in city council. And Jose talks about organic leadership and how important that is, and that there is a lot of intention and very deliberate actions and a discipline to show up the way that we show up. Unapologetically Puerto Rican. Deeply rooted in community. In solidarity with all the communities that have experienced oppression and colonialism, understanding that when we lift up ourselves and when we say presente, we're also doing that for communities that have been historically marginalized by the status quo. Yep. One of the things that was really just compelling for me with Mayor Johnson's campaign is that it didn't come with an election cycle, right? This was deep organizing that had happened over generations. And that over the past few years and decades, we got even tighter and tighter. And now there was this collision course that happened with the civil rights and the human rights and the labor rights movement. But understanding that our history and our present is intrinsically tied, therefore our future must be forward together. And not in a way, if you heard his talk today, it wasn't like we're gonna just gloss over differences. No, we're gonna have some really difficult conversations, but we're gonna center humanity. And we're gonna show up for each other, and we're gonna invest in people, and we're gonna love on Chicago in ways that Chicago has never felt. And so precisely why we have the outcome in the 26th ward is because Jessie is the proof of concept of what happens when you pour into young people. And Jessie came from some complex conditions and circumstances, but the spirit that is inside Jessie, what makes her heart beat, what is composed of her DNA, that's what everybody bet on. And that's what everybody poured into. And that's why we're gonna have a leader that is going to be transparent, that is going to be committed, that is going to do this work with community. Not just, oh, fly by night, oh, I'm here, giving out food because I'm gonna put this up on my political webpage. No, this is the work that she's been doing every single day. There is a difference between politicians and public servants. And when you're a public servant, you understand the sacrifice that you're about to make, but you also understand the exhilarating experience of when you actually are able to be transformative. And you're not doing that just alone. You're building on the work of people who came before you, and you're bringing them with you to the table. And you're understanding that every single decision you make is going to affect their lives in such impactful ways. And that's why it's incredibly important to show up and to bring folks along with you and to pay it forward, to not just do it for your own personal gain and to build up your resume. This is really about affecting people's lives in a way that is so profound that we have never had that type of representation before. And so it's just a deep honor to witness this moment, to share it with you all, to know that this is not the beginning. This is a continuation of the work that we've already been doing, and now we have a greater platform, and we get to share the story of this community in our platforms. People don't always understand the depth, the beauty, the complexity. They have so many negative impressions, but we know how intelligent our people are, how talented our people are, how resourceful our people are, and how in spite of a system that's designed to really shut us down, we still bloom. Yeah. So we're gonna lean into Jessie. She's gonna need us. We can't forget that this is a two-way process. I'm gonna need y'all to lean into me. Feedback is love. We're not gonna always get everything right off the bat, and that's okay. But as long as we keep on trying and we keep the communication open and we dialogue and we bring folks in, you call them in, not just call them out, right? Because there's gonna be a lot of work that has to be done. And there's no single way that we can do it with just one individual. It's gonna take the sum of us because that's so much greater. So without further ado, right? Do I get to, what's the, I'm gonna bring it back to La Maestra, Brenda Torres.
Que estamos revueltos con mujeres poderosas aquí, oye. Esto no nos queremos parar. No nos queremos parar. So, talking about another mujer poderosa, I want to introduce our state representative, Miss Lilian Jimenez.
So much. I want to echo everything our senator just said. From the heart. She always speaks from the heart, and it speaks to me because it is an honor to be here. It is such an honor to be here in this room as I look around to the people who, as I was a young person, coming into myself, as somebody else said, right, trying to find my identity. This was the first community that I came to where I saw people being proud of who they were, lifting each other up, and building for the future. And this, what I see here right now, is the fruits of that labor. And I am so proud to have been touched by so many of you as I tried to find myself in my journey as a Mexican, growing up, Chicago girl, growing up all over Chicago, South Side, North Side, trying to find myself. And I am so proud to be here in this moment and see the future generations, our current generations, everybody working together. You don't see this all the time. You don't see this in every community. You don't see people who've come here, come together, work together, and then go off to other communities and lead other groups, but still come together. And that's what I love to see here. And I love to see the fact that so many people we have so much leadership in this room, so much servant leadership. People who have gone off to do work in the environment, in the health field, in the education field, and always come back to community and always help us build for the future. That's why I'm so proud to be here. And it really shows the kind of people that this community produces. I am just honored to be associated with this community and all the wonderful people who have come out of here. And one of the people that has been really important in my life has been my husband, Jessie Mum, who also has been touched by this community. As we walk down the street, when we're in Paseo, when we're in our neighborhood, we feel that love. And it is the only place that I would want to raise my son, Oshin Mum Jimenez. That's right. And in that, we see the future. We see who we have poured into. We see people like our Alderperson. Now we don't have to say elect anymore, finally. Alderperson, Jessie Fuentes. Somebody who, like me, was a young person coming into the community, trying to find themselves, and saw reflected that what it is, unfortunately, and I hate to say it, but unfortunately, there are so many negative stereotypes that we have to combat as young people coming up in this society. Negative, 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 negative. And when we see those positives, we have to hold on to them. And I think that's what Jessie did. She held on to that so forcefully. And that is who we see. That is a heart that we see. Somebody who wants to reflect back the positive of our culture, of our community, what we can bring and what we can bring to the next community. And I'm so proud that we're going to be able to work hand in hand, because as we both start this career in the elected arena, I just started in January, as we start this career in the elected arena, we have pledged that we are going to back each other up. We have pledged that we're going to work together. We have pledged that we are going to build our community together. And I am so excited to do that. So thank you, Jessie. Thank you for being here today, and congratulations on your inauguration.
Thank you, Lillian. Thank you so much. Before we move on to our last part of, and the most important part of this program, I would like to acknowledge our elders, the women that have made sure that they have been present for so long in this community and doing the work for so many decades for us to make sure that we are here. All the women que han sido madres, que han sido abuelas, que han sido tías, que han sido maestras, que han sido educadoras. I want to make sure that you are seen, that you're heard, and you're part of this beautiful thing. So I would like to call Judge Jessie Reyes, also our Alderperson. Hold on a second, Judge, por favor. Can I please call to the stage a Delia Ramírez, another mujer poderosa?
Buenas tardes, pueblo. Good afternoon, our community. Humboldt Park. I told Jessie I only wear this kind of dress for you. And then, we might stop at the mayor's ball later, but this is about the Alderperson of the 26th Ward. We're on North and Pulaski. We are in a community where we're saying that El Mercado del Pueblo is indicating the kind of economic development that this community deserves, this community needs, and who we are. And it is so good. It is so good to be with you today, celebrando one of our own, someone that comes from this community, someone whose embodiment is service, who understands what it's like to have and to not have, who understands that the work that we do has to be done with the spirit of love, of compassion, of justice. And she is now our Alderperson of the 26th Ward. Nuestra concejal, my Alderperson. I live just a few blocks and I managed to be late. So today, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate family. Let's celebrate culture. Let's celebrate community. Porque para mañana, Jose and a bunch of us have a lot of work for you to do in City Council. And also our senator over there, she knows she got a lot of work to do as well. But today is about the beauty of community. Today is about Jessie Fuentes, the Alderperson of the 26th Ward. Así que te celebramos. We love you. A trabajar se ha dicho.
That sounds so good. That sounds so good. Delia, what an entrance, by the way. What an entrance. Okay, now. Espérate, me perdí aquí un momentito. Let me call in just Jessie Reyes. Alderperson. Jessie Fuentes, and our First Lady of the 26th Ward for our dignifying community tour.
First of all, let me just say how humbled and honored I am to be here this evening with all of you to administer the oath to Alderperson Jessie Fuentes. It is indeed an honor because To paraphrase Abraham Lincoln when he was giving his speech at Gettysburg Address, he talked about government for the people. And the 26th Ward is going to have someone that's reflective of the people of this community, who's been a fighter and grew up in Humboldt Park and fought for this community, and you couldn't have a better person sitting in city council for you. So congratulations, Alderperson. And without further ado, we're going to administer the oath. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jessie Fuentes,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Illinois,
of the State of Illinois,
and that I will
and that I will
faithfully discharge
faithfully discharge
the duties and responsibilities
the duties and responsibilities
of the office
of the office
of Alderperson
of the Alderperson
of the 26th Ward
of the 26th Ward
of the City of Chicago
of the City of Chicago
to the best of my abilities.
to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, first, I want to thank my beautiful wife, Rebecca Medina, who keeps me grounded, who keeps me peaceful, but who also reminds me that she is a constituent of the 26th Ward, and that I better fulfill all of my promises. I also want to thank my family, so if my family can stand up.
Come on.
All of my siblings, my nieces, my nephews, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my mother, my cousin. And today, we hold a lot of space for my father, Ernesto Alvarez, who told me several years ago, you will one day have the key to this city. He knew well before I can ever imagine that someone like me can hold political office. And so did my siblings, and my brothers and sister are here today with us. But let me tell you what today means. For every young person who is a child of an incarcerated parent, for every young person that has been pushed out or have dropped out of a public school system, for every young person that has lost someone to gun violence, for every young person that has suffered from substance abuse or have lost relatives to that illness. Their experiences will be represented in City Council for the next 4 years. You see, we can't talk about building safer communities. We can't talk about housing stability. We can't talk about building schools that are rooted in a culturally competent curriculum in which young people can feel proud of who they are and where they come from, if the person that is fighting that fight also does not represent those experiences. See, we're not just gonna talk about it. We're gonna be about it. Because everything is on the line. For those of you who live in the 26th Ward, you know that every day we are trying to figure out how we are going to continue to live in the 26th Ward. As our property taxes have doubled, our rent goes up. We have a city that doesn't support our small businesses and make sure that there's lending programs to sustain them. That the more west you go in my ward, the less resources there are for young people that look like me. But that is about to change.
That's right.
We will continue to build affordable housing like 26th Ward Roberto Maldonado has done so in the last 4 years, 8 years. We will make sure that the projects that are in the pipeline to ensure that we build another 700 affordable rental units are materialized in this term. And we will also make sure
that young people have a safe place to go to, that we build quality after-school programs, that we ensure that our schools can provide summer programming, and that our park districts become park land for the residents that live here, and we will no longer allow for the privatization of that land. And we are on North Avenue in Pulaski, where I dream of such a beautiful business corridor, where Latino businesses can open their doors and feel confident in their ability to stay open and serve the residents of this community. We're right across the street from Pioneer Bank, that will soon become a community space with affordable housing, a green rooftop, and places for our family to enjoy. You see, this corridor will be transformed in the next year. We will be the community that our children and grandchildren are proud to live in. That saying that we can raise 4 more generations in Humboldt Park, Hermosa, and Belmont Cragen is not such a far-fetched dream, but yet a reality that we will build together. Yes. And that's why it was so important to me to do this community inauguration with the folks in this room. There were 3 trailblazing women who came to this podium before me. Senator Cristina Pacioni Zayas, now Deputy Chief of Staff for Mayor Brandon Johnson. State Representative Lillian Jimenez. And our Congresswoman, Delia Ramirez. Four women that are committed to this community. 4 women that are committed to ensuring that we build affordable housing, that we're building a safe place for our young people, that we are building quality schools, and that no matter the reality of a young person or what they look like, who they love, or what zip code that they live in, that they are going to understand that anything is possible. Because the fact that us 4 have gotten to where we are speaks to that anything is possible. I mean, Brenda Torres will tell you, I was her student in an art class. Where did Brenda go? I was 16 years old when I walked into Dr. Pedro Albizu Campos Puerto Rican High School. 16. With not a lot figured out, with a lot of pain and a lot of resentment. But there was a school filled with love, care, where I learned about my Puerto Ricanness, about colonialism, where I became an independentista and an activist. Where I learned that in order to have the community that we want, we're going to fight for it. And every day I show up to our ward office, and every time I go to city council, understand that I will act with a sense of urgency, because everything that we want, I will fight for. And I am proud. I am proud and humbled to be your 26th Ward Alderperson. And I'm so grateful for all of you who are along this journey with me, for every door that you knocked, every resident that you called, every text message that you sent, every door hanger that you hung, got us to this point. And I will make sure that all of our efforts, our collective efforts, bear fruit in the next 4 years. And so thank you all for being here. I love you. I love this community. And let's get to work. Thank you. Before we close out with Bomba, I want to also give acknowledgement to Ivelisse, who opened up La Escuelita right on North Avenue. A place where young people
will understand their African roots, love their Puerto Ricanness, but also have a safe place to be. Belisa, I am ready to go to City Council and get you the resources you need to make that happen. I also want to acknowledge my team who's in the room because they're going to be the individuals to make all the work happen. So if my Chief of Staff, Juanita Garcia, can come up. Everyone say hello, Juanita. My Director of Barrio Services, Julio Miramontes, come up. My Director of Policy and Zoning, Alexis Smyser. My Coordinator of Barrio Services, Ashley Vargas. And we are still working on getting him through the DSSS process, but let's welcome the future 26th Ward Superintendent, Hugo Samayoa. We are fully staffed, and we are ready to go into office tomorrow and provide this community all the services that they deserve. Thank you.